And hey there, we're live. I'm Mia Voss, and we are doing a very informal interview today with Dino Dogan, one of the co-founders of Triberr, who's going to get our Learn On with us and learn us about Triberr. Welcome to the show, Dino Dogan. Let me see if I can pull. There he is.
Thanks, Mia. Thank you for having me back.
So how this whole started is that Stefan had started a group for all of us who were Hangout hosts, and then decided that let's get Dino on if we know we're talking about Triberr without the man, the myth that can learn us about it. So some of us know it. I don't know it as well. Christine DeGraff is with us today as well. Hey, girl.
Hey there.
I'm gonna clap for everybody. We got Jeff C. What's up, y'all? Am I saying it right? Yeah. And Mike Alton. Yay! You know I got to get a bunch of clapping in. So listen, we're going to dive in because Dino talked to us about Triberr for those who know and don't know.
Oh, that was a question. Okay.
No, that's you. That was your segue. Wait, what?
That felt like an abrupt ending to a sentence. But okay.
That's the Mia style.
Where do I begin? Triberr is an ecosystem, kind of like rainforest, Amazon rainforest. And when you first join Triberr, a lot of people are confused, as you would be in the Amazon, right?
Right.
And that's because there's three major components to Triberr. There's this content distribution component. So when you join Triberr, we make it really easy for you to share and comment and read the content from your tribesmates, from the bloggers that you know and love and all that stuff. So we make that super easy. So most people come to us for that content distribution piece, but there's also the social network component. Because you're connecting with other people, you're getting to know them not through pictures of cats, but rather through their content, which I would argue it's a deeper kind of knowing. So there's that social network with its own angle type of thing happening. And then we recently deployed, and we've been beta testing this for the last almost a year, this influence marketing campaign piece, which enables brands to hire bloggers by the hundreds and run influence marketing campaigns. So there's like those three major components, and then as you walk in, you know, people have a tendency to get a little disoriented sometimes. But as long as you connect your feed, because unlike every other social network out there, Triberr is built for bloggers, by bloggers, for bloggers. So you don't have to like take your link and paste it into Triberr like you do on Facebook or G+ or every other social network. We automatically import your latest blog post and show it to all your tribemates. And then they can read it, they can comment on it, they can share it to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. And that enables you to tap into the audiences of all of your tribemates. The idea being, Mia, you have a sizable audience, but you know, like compared to, I don't know, MSNBC, your audience is tiny, right?
Okay.
But if I tribe up with like 100 Mias, right? If I tribe up with 100 bloggers like Mia, and each of you share my content to your audience, now I'm competing with MSNBC or whatever other media outlet you want to think of. So once you share content, Triberr does its best to sort of make that obvious to the people whose content you shared. The idea being is that they would be inclined to reciprocate. So we have this affinity thing. So when I share Mia's content, my content appears in Mia's stream and stuff like that on top. So that's a kind of a basic breakdown. I guess I'll shut up now. And I'd love to hear what questions you guys have. Mike has been on Triberr for a long time. I know, Mia, you're relatively new. Jeff, I'm assuming you're relatively new. So I'm sure you guys have questions. I'd love to hear what's on your mind.
I want to just jump in real quick, because I'm relatively new as well. And on Twitter, I have about 4,000 followers. Since I learned about Triberr and joined, and I started a few tribes, I joined some tribes. I'm in 30 tribes. I have 1,000 tribe mates and a possible reach of 23 million. You know, so if that, I think, is the power of Triberr right there. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone is going to share everything I post. And of course, you still need to put out quality content, but you know, you are getting it in front of people that might not otherwise see it. You know, I have some serious influencers now sharing my content because, you know, I share theirs. I'm in their tribe. They see, you know, that this is getting my content in front of them. And then if they choose to, you know, share it, it's then getting it in front of their audience as well. So, I mean, I think it's just incredibly powerful.
Thank you. So let's talk about that for a second, right? Long gone are the days where Sockington the cat can have 1 million followers on Twitter, right? Those days are long gone. It's really hard to build a following on Twitter, right? Sockington the cat got lucky, got placed into the recommended follows like back in 2008, right? And got like 1 million followers, right? And it was a unique thing to have a cat tweet on Twitter back then, right?
Right.
But those days are long gone. It's really hard to build a large following on Twitter. You can build an intimate following on Twitter, right? But building 1 million followers on Twitter, or any other network for that matter, it's really hard, right? And it surprises me that people still talk about how to get followers on Twitter. It's like, who cares? Join a couple of tribes on Triberr, and boom.
Exactly.
Well, I even saw when you were on the show, and I pulled up the numbers, and I had just started my tribe at the time. When I saw the sort of exponential numbers of what it looked like when I was attached to these different people, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And super viral. Real quick, Don Sturgill in the crowd has a question. My blog is connected, new Triberr member, but doesn't detect any posts. How do I get it to pull? I know that's a big question that a lot of people have. Will you pop through that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. RSS feed. You have to configure an RSS feed. You have to have the right URL.
Right.
Assuming that you have the right URL and it's entered in Triberr, and by the way, if you have any issues with this, just email us, support@triberr.com. All of us look at that email. And by all of us, I mean all three of us. I made it sound like we're like huge, you know what I mean? So assuming you have the right RSS feed, the next step happens automatically, but sometimes it fails. You have to make sure the RSS feed is assigned to the tribes that you want it to assign. And all of that stuff is in settings. In the upper right, click on your profile. There's a drop-down, click on settings, and you'll see all of that stuff. So make sure your RSS feed is assigned to tribes. Now, you have to consider what type of member are you in those tribes. If you're a follower, you're just reading the content from that tribe. When you follow a tribe, you have an option to either remain a follower or request a promotion. If you request a promotion, an email goes to Chief. Chief gets your profile. Chief can then look at your online digital footprint, check out your blog, check out your engagement on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and then decide to bring you into the tribe or not. If you're a full-fledged member, then you see everyone's posts, everybody sees your post. But if you're a follower, they're not going to see your post. You only see theirs. The idea is for people who are perhaps not bloggers to consume content easier and whatnot. It's like a group RSS subscription type of deal.
The way that I broke into it was I became a follower of a few tribes first and shared content and got the feel of it, you know, before I started requesting membership or starting my own.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With that, so then is it, because I know my tribe is full, but I have a lot of people who are asking to come in, that tell us how to kind of weed that out, kind of like how people do on circles, like who to let in. Tell me what's the best way to do that.
Okay, so I think we can fork that question into two directions. Okay. One is in terms of optimization and having sort of, you know, putting together the best team possible, right? Because as a tribe chief, you're essentially a coach, like putting a basketball team together, right?
Right.
And you have to sort of consider, you know, how you interact with the players in your tribe, how they will interact with each other, and then how their audiences will, you know, like each other's content. I mean, it's like so sort of 3D. You have to consider it from every angle. But a good tribe, the primary focus should always be on the blog.
Gotcha.
The blog is your seat of the power. The blog says, I will go to your blog and I will tell you anything you need to know about you, what kind of person you are, right? Everything I need to know about you is on your blog. So if you produce crappy content, I'm not going to bring you into my tribe.
Gotcha.
Right? Because I'm not only exposing myself to crappy content, I'm exposing my tribe mates, and I'm exposing their audiences to crappy content.
Sure.
Right?
So you need to
look
vet it
at
out
the
a little
blog.
bit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What you shouldn't do is, or you can look at it as a secondary signal. Very, very, very secondary signal. Followers on Twitter and Facebook and so on, right? People will look at just Twitter followers, 100,000 followers. Wow, that's awesome. I'll bring this person in. Meanwhile, they're writing crappy content.
Or there are some that have like 1 million followers, write good content, but have never shared any content of anybody else's on the tribe. Basically, you're sharing them. They're not reciprocating ever or to anyone, so you're not gaining from their reach at all.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
Optimizing your tribe is something that we've been, there's been like this thing that's been like second in priority for like a year, right? It's like we wanna build tools to help the chief optimize the tribe, but we just haven't gotten around to it yet. Building campaigns and whatnot took a lot of time from us.
Hey, Dino, right now you can hop in and you can look at everybody who's a member of your tribe and everybody who's a follower, and you can see the last time they shared a post, which might be a day or a week or 6 months, but you can't see frequency.
Right.
No, you really can't drill down into that data at all. So,
yeah.
You know, I know you might have shared something yesterday, but that might have been your first time in 6 months. I don't know. That's not a good enough qualifier to say, yeah, you're an optimum member.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the human element still has to be present, right? The platform may give you a certain amount of information, but the human element has got to be present. Like, you know, if I'm the chief and I don't know that I've just invited you and I don't know your blog and stuff like that, then I'm clearly not, like, you know, not into it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I'm not managing it properly. So never remove the human element. Machines can lie.
Meaning, so let's say, I mean, and I'm just taking it from a really newbie standpoint. So I started, and then I've got all these people, which Don Sturgill has another question. How many members may a tribe include? Is that 30? How many? How many members can be in a tribe? 30?
30, and then there's a level of 50. Is that right?
Yep.
Right.
For premium members, they can increase to 50 and 70, depending on the level, yeah.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is then too is that what we need to do is take it a step beyond and not just look at, and that's the Mike. That's what I looked at as well too. Is I kind of gauged it at first by what their kind of activity was. You know, the last time they had been in Triberr, and if they'd been in a while, that's your first, you know, line of defense, right? It's like, okay, it's been 3 months since this person's even stopped by here. Clearly, they're not interactive. Somebody else needs this spot. And then the next would be to kind of go through literally and look at each person then and kind of see what their content is. I love it. It's so true. It is kind of, yeah, it's like the chief, you know, you're figuring out who needs to be in each little spot, right, to make the most of it.
I think another thing is to keep it focused. You know, I mean, it's tempting to invite all your friends, or, you know, but if it's off topic, you know, and if their blog is not fitting into your topic, then people in your tribe are likely not going to tweet it if they're on topic. You know, so I think that, you know, keep it on topic, and you know, you'll have better success.
I think what you're saying. What's that?
Kitty's photobombing Christine in the background, by the way. Just she's agreeing with Triberr.
So I think what's at the core of the statement you just said is you have to have a tribe building strategy.
Yes.
And
A niche.
well, that's one tribe building strategy, right?
Okay.
And that's like the probably the most popular tribe building strategy. You know, you blog about social media, I blog about social media, let's tribe up. That makes sense. One of the best tribes I've ever built was a Tucson-based tribe. I lived in Tucson, Arizona for a while, and I built a tribe of bloggers who were blogging about Tucson-related stuff. So it was a location-based tribe. So one blogger was blogging about real estate, another one was doing IT stuff around Tucson, information technology for the uninitiated. I was doing like social media marketing crap. Another person was doing restaurant reviews. Another person had a food blog, right? So that was a great tribe and super related, and we were super supportive of each other and stuff like that. So this location-based strategy is a really good one. And there's a bunch of other ones, right? One of my favorite, and this is going to be the direction we're going to take tribal strategies to, is destination network tribe building strategy. So if you think about the way people use Twitter and the way people use LinkedIn, right? It's very different, right? Twitter is the kind of destination network where you can tweet a whole bunch of stuff throughout the day. You do that on LinkedIn and you're annoying.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Not
The
to
frequency
mention-
is very different.
Right. Not to mention that the type of content that you send in those two directions is going to be hugely different. I can tweet a picture of a cat, but I'm probably not going to post a picture of a cat on LinkedIn, right?
Right.
So I can build a tribe. One is for my Twitter. It's going to be my Twitter tribe. The other one is going to be my LinkedIn tribe. And the type of people that I'm going to bring into my LinkedIn tribe are going to be people that post less frequently, right? Mm-hmm. They write businessy content. They have a businessy voice when they write. They're not dropping F-bombs like I am all the time, right?
You guys missed the green room. It was pretty sweet. So.
Yeah. So this destination network tribe building strategy it's really powerful. People have done it for like StumbleUpon, and obviously for LinkedIn and Facebook, and so on. So that's one of the directions that we're going to take. We have like this a 10-point plan of what it's going to take to build a better tribe. Because that's what we want. We want people to build better tribes. So how do we get there? We have this like 10-point plan, and it's and that's part of it.
Gotcha.
I want to jump in here too, if I can. Dino, I don't know if we're hitting on mechanics, if we're just kind of talking, you know. But if I can ask a technical mechanic question, it's on what you just mentioned. So. One of the things that I ran into, well, first of all, can you help us all understand the green box that we wave our mouse over? What actually is happening when we do that?
Yeah, I'm amazed how many people are thrown off by that. We need to hire a UX designer to fix that. But here's what it is. It's just an approval button that schedules the post to be shared on whatever network you have connected to that tribe. So typically like Twitter or Facebook or whatever, right?
So that's my second.
Let me just add this, Jason.
Yeah, sorry.
So the reason I think people are thrown off by it is because it's so super simple. It's simpler than any other platform. You know, Hootsuite or TweetDeck or whatever, right? You have to schedule stuff on Hootsuite and whatnot, right? Triberr schedules it for you. It spaces it out. All you have to do is hover. You don't have to click. We want to save you carpal tunnel 10 years down the road. I'm serious, right?
So thoughtful.
It's all about lowering the cost of transaction for what bloggers do. And what do bloggers do? They read, they share, they comment, they write. Right?
Gotcha.
So we want to make those actions as simple as possible. Does that make sense, Jason?
It does, but there's like there's three parts to this question, and I get it a lot from my people, so that's why I wanted to bring these to you. So so I hover over the green button, it adds it to my approval list, all right. But now you said you can have a Twitter tribe or a LinkedIn tribe. Help us understand that, because what I see happening, I wave my mouse over that, so I'm doing something wrong because I wave my mouse over it. I thought I had my frequency set to like an hour, but Facebook gets hit like bang. I mean, it just gets slammed one post right after the other. But my Twitter stream, they're coming out at a nice rate. So I'm something's messed up there. And
that's a bug.
Okay, so
that's a bug. That's a bug. Support@triberr.com. Let us know. That's a bug.
Okay, yeah, cool.
That's not supposed to happen.
All right, so tell me how is it that I'm supposed to set up, if you can do it real quickly. I don't know if that's what we're doing here, but if you can really quickly, Dino, tell me, how do I set up a tribe for Twitter or for Twitter? Did I just say that? Yeah. So,
I like it.
So,
and it's on YouTube.
All right, and then how do I send something over to my Facebook stream or my Google Plus wall? Right. Right. You caught that, Mike? All right.
So let me break that up into a couple of different things. So the way it works now is you connect Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever you want to connect, to a tribe. So there's no separation on Triberr. There's nothing that the platform itself is enforcing upon you to separate or group your tribes as LinkedIn tribes or Twitter tribes. You just have to do it on your own, right? That's how it works right now. The thing that I mentioned earlier, the 10-point plan to build a better tribe, is going to help you do that, right? So the way it works now, you connect whichever social network you want to connect to a tribe. When you approve it, it goes to those networks. And if you want to build a LinkedIn tribe, and you want Mike in it, and you want me in it, right? You just have to say, guys, this is a LinkedIn tribe. Connect your LinkedIn or else, right?
Right. So gotcha. I can either wave my mouse. I can either wave my mouse over the green to add it to this queue, which is going to be my frequency. It'll go out every X amount of time. That's set up in my tribal stream settings. Mm-hmm. Or I can manually go in, and you guys have the buttons where I can say, okay, I want to just send this to LinkedIn, or I will just want to send it to Facebook or just to Twitter. But when I do it that way, then the people in my tribe aren't alerted that I'm sharing their things. Is that correct?
When you do a manual share, I believe that is correct. But there's a third option. And the third option is to create a LinkedIn tribe, connect your LinkedIn to that tribe, and have everybody else who joins that tribe do the same. And then just use the share button to approve it, and that keeps track of it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I've got like 10 other questions, but somebody else take over if you guys have anything else. I'm a tech guy, so I've got a lot of my questions are real technical about the platform and how to use it. So if anybody else has something else,
yeah, I think that's what a lot of ours are too. But yeah, Jeff or Mike, you want to jump in, and then we'll go back to Jason too, and then we'll pull anything in from the audience.
I got a question. If you could, I love the feature of the sticky posts. Can you just tell a little bit about that and just kind of explain to somebody who has no idea what that is?
Yeah. So we took a cue from Facebook with promote the post, right? So the idea is someone like Christine, right? Now she has over 1,000 tribe mates and whatnot, right? And when I publish a blog post, given the fact that Christine has 1,000+ tribe mates, who knows where my post is going to end up in our tribal stream, right? Maybe it's going to be all the way down, and she'll have to scroll down, and we all know how busy all of us are. When are you going to get to the bottom to get to my post, right? What's going to happen, right? So if I don't want to leave it up to chance, I can pay $5 to make my post sticky. And what that means is all of my tribe mates, like Christine, will see it on top of their tribal stream. And it's going to stay there until Christine and everybody else who I'm tribed up with takes some action. And that action could be either to share, or to hide, or to mute me altogether, or whatever, right? Like if my content sucks or whatever, right? So we've had that for like probably about 6 or 7 months. and it's been working really well. So recently we expanded it so that anyone can promote anyone's post. So let's say Mia publishes this hangout on her blog, and let's face it, this hangout is all about Triberr, right? And I want to make sure that everyone in Mia's circle, tribal circle, sees this post. I can promote Mia's post, pay $5 for Mia's post to be stuck to the top of her tribe mate's tribal stream.
Gotcha. What about you, Mike Alton?
Well, that's cool. I didn't know about being able to promote other people's posts.
Yeah, it's recent.
Right.
We just rolled it out. We roll out like stuff all the time, and we're like quiet about it because we want to be all mysterious and whatnot. Either that, or we suck at promoting ourselves. One of those two.
Well, you got a really great crowd here who would love to promote you. You just tell us, we'll chat about it.
You got to hire the social media hat, Dino.
I know, right?
I'll blog about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike has been so super useful to us. So has Mia. So have so many people.
Thank you.
Social media has been super useful to us. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, happy to be a tool.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that into a soundbite.
Oh my God!
Happy to be a tool.
That's going on the best of 2013.
Okay.
Funny stuff. People say, "Hey, Jason, jump in again."
I am. Okay, so Dino, I got another one. I got a podcast. Yeah. I've seen people do, others that have podcasts. I've only seen a couple people that do it. How are they doing this? Their podcast link is showing up. What are they doing?
I know that's one of David Oldenburg's questions, so yeah.
So I would have to see the link, but what I think you're talking about is, most podcasters, I know I do, we have blogs, so we, publish our podcast, we embed it in a blog post, and that's what gets imported, right? So that's one way. That's, if you ask me, that's the recommended way. The other way is, I'm assuming that like Libsyn or whatever hosting service they might be using provides the RSS, and they could link directly to the audio file. But that's kind of silly, right? Wouldn't you want them to land on your blog page where you can frame the post, provide the links, and then have the audio embed as well?
Yeah, well, what I'm talking about is, and maybe we'll have to talk about it some other time. I'll hit you up privately, but you get the title, you get your image, and then there's the Blueberry actual podcast button that's there. And I've played around with it. I've moved that thing all over my RSS feed manually. I mean, I've tried to get that thing to appear, so I don't know what somebody's doing it. I'll have to go find that guy again and deconstruct his blog code to figure it out.
Anthony S. Marino.
Tony Marino.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's who you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Anthony, hit us up. Find us. Tell us your secret. Give us your ninja trick.
But I know there's other podcasts. That's a great question. I think we should come back to it. But if it doesn't get embedded, we should figure out how to make that happen.
Okay, and then I got one more here, and this should be a really simple one. I think there's been a lot of discussion about this, and it doesn't seem readily apparent. RSS feeds. Some people have tried to RSS feed in their Google Plus stream, which it appears that that's not acceptable. What about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Eileen Smith has a YouTube tribe. YouTube provides RSS. YouTube content is, content. You don't publish, a ton of videos every day on YouTube. You do one, maybe two tops, or whatever, right? G Plus RSS doesn't make any sense to me. Like what you post on G Plus is blog content, anyways, or conversations. In which case, I don't think that's suitable for your tribe mates to spread. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, is it not allowed? I mean, leave it up to the tribers. Leave it up to us to decide if we're going to allow it or not. But I mean, do you guys allow it? Or is it okay if,
No.
You'd prefer we don't do that?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's really blog content, podcast content, YouTube content.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I just throw in a guy like Mike Elgin into the mix. G Plus is his blog. So what does he not have a place on Triberr?
That is correct. He does not.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Dino. Boom. No.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be. I just think I've heard a lot of discussion on this. A lot of people talking about it and saying it's not readily clear. So it'd be great to take it right to the top and have you have you answer it for us. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't like philosophically. Blogging on G Plus is. I know it works for some people, but it's just retarded. You're building other people's empires with your bricks. Build your own empire, man. Use G Plus to bring people to your house, to your blog, where you control the experience and you can convert them to something other than a follower on G Plus or whatever. I know it works for some people, right? But like we're not trying to promote G Plus. Screw that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, now. You're talking to the people who drink the G Plus Kool-Aid every day, and a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, you're like that's cool. Just create your own, build your own house too. You are talking to a bunch of G Plus crack addicts. Let me, before we get too off topic, I want to throw in a couple more questions from a few people. So I'm going to blue box you because you're the one that's saying it. Lori Lejour, hi girl. It says, I have a quick cue. Can you add articles where you guest blog or only your regular blog? In other words, she blogs 2 or 3 times a month for Williams-Sonoma. Can she add a link to just those posts?
So yes and no. So let's attack it. So. For people who guest blog all over the place, the answer is typically no. And here's how it works. And now it's going to make sense as to why it's a no, right? Because it's hard. If you're guest blogging a few times a month on the same blog all the time, then the answer is yes. You can just grab the author-specific RSS feed from that guest blog and add it to Triberr. You can add 2 or 3 RSS feeds into your Triberr account.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
And then assign that RSS feed to whichever tribe you want to, share your content. So in that sense, yes. So having said that, this is something that we've had in the past. It's something that we will probably have in the future. We just have to figure out the right way to implement it. For people to bring in whatever post, from anywhere, and feed it into their, stream and whatnot, right? We just haven't figured out a good way to accomplish that quite yet.
Sounds like it for Lori, then it'll definitely work because that's just her. Like, so
for
she
Lori,
just add that RSS for Williams-Sonoma, and boom, she's good. Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Ray Hilt says, no wonder I'm getting less love in my tribes. I always share manually, so people never think I share their stuff, which I do every day. So that was one of our groups. David Oldenbeck says, I think I need a Triberr mentor. That looked like you. So, but okay, who else has got questions?
Okay, you know me.
You bet. Okay. Let me do one more from the crowd. Don Sturgill, he's got our captive audience. Is there a limit to how many tribes one can join? If all folks are doing is having articles pulled in by RSS, there's no need to be active in each personally. Is that correct?
Let's break that up into 2 questions.
Okay, good.
I think
he means following.
Part.
Okay. Okay.
So is there a limit to the number of tribes you can join? I think so, but it's like 30 or something like that. Yeah. You can have 4 tribes of your own, plus you can join like a bunch of tribes. It's gonna take some work for you to hit a limit, all right? Okay. And if you do, then there's like a $10 premium thing or whatever, right? And what was the second? I don't know what it is.
Is this your product?
Well, here's the thing.
Somebody is not money focused. I like it.
No. Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
We're not money focused on making money from bloggers. That's what we're not focused on. The only reason we have those premium options, we have limits so that people wouldn't abuse the system and their tribe mates and whatnot, right?
Right.
And then if you really need to go past that limit, we have Prime membership.
If
right?
you really want to abuse it, pay for it.
right. But we never intended, we never wanted to make money from bloggers. The way money is flowing right now with the campaigns is brands pay Triberr to hold the money until the campaign gets executed, and then Triberr pays bloggers. We want bloggers to be able to make a living with Triberr, right?
Gotcha.
So that's why I'm not. There's Prime page. Go look at it if you have questions.
I like that. I mean, yeah, it's your for-profit. You just want to focus on getting the profit from the right avenue, correct? Because I remember when you were on our show, you said the same thing, or we even said it in the green room, like, no, you don't need that, like, because you've got different ways that people can use it. So I like that, and I don't remember what the other end of his question is. Go ahead, Christine.
Since Dino brought up about the campaigns, I want to touch on that really quick because, you know, I had noticed that there were influencer campaigns. I applied to a few. I finally got accepted for one. It's currently going now. I think Mike Alton is also on that one. It's the Catalyst CTR study, which is an SEO peer review, and it's been very, you know, it's been a very good experience so far. You know, that there's steps that we each needed to take. We needed to write a blog post, you know, based on the study. We needed to participate in a tweet chat. You know, I feel like there's 2 more things I need to accomplish, which I'm hoping to get done today. But I feel like it's definitely the way things are going, you know. And the one thing that I really appreciated about it is, you know, I felt like I need to be very honest and authentic. I'm the type of person that if I see a problem with something, I'm not going to say, I believe in this 100%, you know, and when you bring a money factor in, that can be difficult. So I actually, I approached, actually it was not Dino, but Dan Crisco, and I said, you know, I'm sorry, Crisco.
I like Crisco better.
I said, you know, I see a couple things I'm not, you know, I'm not sure about, and should I drop out of the campaign? Because, you know, I don't want to hurt Triberr or hurt your client or anything like that, you know. But I said I'm not, you know, I would like to provide constructive criticism, but if it's all about rah rah rah, I said I'd rather drop out. But they're like, no, be honest. You know, this is you know, a peer review, and it's about being honest. And you know, I went through it. I had some suggestions. I thought some things were great. Some things maybe could be improved. And you know, I think that all in all, it was a positive experience.
Good. Glad to hear.
Awesome. No, I love it. Hey guys, so Jason, you've got a few more, and I'm going to tell you that after this, we'll probably wrap it up, and then we'll do it on the events, because Ronnie Vincer just pinged me that I've got his ear, and I can ask him questions about the Hangouts. So after this, I'm taking advantage of the fact that Ronnie Vincer actually just pinged me. I'm just saying. So, and you all know how I feel about this new Hangout format that's just busting our chops right and left. Jason, throw out a few more, brother, and then we'll wrap it up.
Just two real quick ones, easy to answer. When I edit a post back on, okay, so I've got a blog went out, it went live, it appeared on Triberr. I realized that I messed up something. I want to edit that. I edit it. Does it edit over on Triberr? I don't think so.
No, it does not. The way you edit it on Triberr is you go into My Posts and you edit it from there. So, like, if you have to change the title or something like that, you can do it from there.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. I got all kinds of jacked up stuff out there.
Cool. Second, all right, and then the last one is, I know it's hard to believe, but it seems like every tribe I go to, I find this guy named Mike Alton.
And, I love that guy. He's
and
writing a blog post right now.
Yeah, right. And so, you know, and I'll go down my tribes, and I just, you know, green check mark, because I'm careful who I curate my tribe. So I already know I can share anybody in my tribe. I know the article's going to be good. That's how I use Triberr anyway. But the thing is, Mike's in all my tribes, and I don't remember which articles of his I've already added. Am I adding his articles twice? Is it possible that I'm like doubling up on those? Is there any anything in the future where you're going to put a notification that says you've already added this to your stream? Is that in the works?
So when you share a tribe with the same multiple tribes with the same person, you only see their post once in your tribal stream. Having said that, sometimes there's a glitch and you might see it multiple times, but that's not supposed to happen.
I'm seeing it a lot, so I think Support and I are going to have a date coming up. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Yeah. So, hey, that's it for me. Hey, Mia, thank you so much for letting me jump in here and ask a bunch of
absolutely,
questions.
Anybody else?
Mike's loving this glitch, by the way. Mike's like, yeah.
It's not a glitch. It's a feature.
I've got a real quick question, real quick.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody who never heard of Triberr before and just finally, should they go and just join some tribes and watch how it goes, or should they immediately start their own tribe? What would you suggest for a brand stinking new user?
You know, it really depends on the person's personality. I was surprised to find out in the beginning that people were not eager to start their own tribe. And I was really surprised by that. Like, my personality is, I'm going to start a tribe. I'm going to be the chief. Who doesn't want to be the chief? Right? So I'm going to start some tribes, right? But some people have more of a touch-and-go personality, so they will join some tribes, feel things out, maybe start their own eventually and whatnot. So it really depends on a person's, personality. Mm-hmm. I would say start some tribes, join some tribes. You're going to make some mistakes. That's okay. Prune it out,
That's how I got into it. Randy Hilarski forced me into it, and I was glad that he did. I was like, I don't want to start a tribe. He's like, you're going to start a tribe. So, but that's good advice. Thank you. You're right. Everybody's going to make mistakes on that too. Anything else, guys? I think that's awesome. Dino, I don't think we even have any more questions. I think that was really good. I think some of us may come to you for a little bit of private tutorial.
Yeah.
But we're just saying. So.
Well, we should end it on a song.
Yeah. Listen,
break out the guitar, Dino.
You guys missed the Sublime.
No, just leave it at that. You missed the Sublime.
You're like, that's only for the green room.
Yeah. If I play it, you guys will have to sing it.
That's perfect. And that's all, folks. Dino, thank you so much. We all enjoyed all the good going on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
The idea being, Mia, you have a sizable audience, but like compared to, I don't know, MSNBC, your audience is tiny, right?
Okay.
But if I tribe up with like 100 Mias, right? If I tribe up with 100 bloggers like Mia, and each of you share my content to your audience, now I'm competing with MSNBC or whatever other media outlet you want to think of. So once you share content, Triberr does its best to sort of make that obvious to the people whose content you shared. The idea being is that they would be inclined to reciprocate. So we have this affinity thing. So when I share Mia's content, my content appears in Mia's.
And hey there, we're live. I'm Mia Voss, and we are doing a very informal interview today with Dino Dogan, one of the co-founders of Triberr, who's going to get our Learn On with us and learn us about Triberr. Welcome to the show, Dino Dogan. Let me see if I can pull. There he is.
Thanks, Mia. Thank you for having me back.
So how this whole started is that Stefan had started a group for all of us who were Hangout hosts, and then decided that let's get Dino on if we know we're talking about Triberr without the man, the myth that can learn us about it. So some of us know it. I don't know it as well. Christine DeGraff is with us today as well. Hey, girl.
Hey there.
I'm going to clap for everybody. We got Jeff C. What's up, yo? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
And Mike Alton. Yay! You know I got to get a bunch of clapping in. So listen, we're going to dive in because Dino talked to us about Triberr for those who know and don't know.
Oh, that was a question. Okay.
Yes, no, that's you. That was your segue. Wait, what?
That felt like an abrupt ending to a sentence. But okay.
That's the Mia style.
Where do I begin? Triberr is an ecosystem, kind of like rainforest, Amazon rainforest. And when you first join Triberr, a lot of people are confused, as you would be in the Amazon, right?
Right.
And that's because there's three major components to Triberr. There's this content distribution component. So when you join Triberr, we make it really easy for you to share and comment and read the content from your tribesmates, from the bloggers that you know and love and all that stuff. So we make that super easy. So most people come to us for that content distribution piece, but there's also the social network component. Because you're connecting with other people, you're getting to know them not through pictures of cats, but rather through their content, which I would argue it's a deeper kind of knowing. So there's that social network with its own angle type of thing happening. And then we recently deployed, and we've been beta testing this for the last almost a year, this influence marketing campaign piece, which enables brands to hire bloggers by the hundreds and run influence marketing campaigns. So there's like those three major components, and then as you walk in, you know, people have a tendency to get a little disoriented sometimes. But as long as you connect your feed, because unlike every other social network out there, Triberr is built for bloggers, by bloggers, for bloggers. So you don't have to like take your link and paste it into Triberr like you do on Facebook or G+ or every other social network. We automatically import your latest blog post and show it to all your tribe mates. And then they can read it, they can comment on it, they can share it to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. And that enables you to tap into the audiences of all of your tribe mates.